tea is a Japanese tradition which evolved across time, starting with the introduction of tea coming from China. It reached its maturity around the 16th century and continues to exist practically unaltered today. The tradition transcended the Japanese borders, and it is practiced today by people of various backgrounds and beliefs, young and old, around the world. Including in itself history, philosophy, ethics, art, folklore, and social entertainment, the way of tea means different things for different people. My name is Gabriel Cachula, and I am a tea instructor. My tea name is Soga. We will observe together how students in Bucharest, Romania, practice in the Urasenke tradition during a class practice at the Urasenke Chapter in Bucharest. The comments in this video are based on my study and my practice of Chado, the way of tea. The way of tea, known as Chado, is an intimate creation of the Japanese soul, and it represents Japan in its deepest spiritual and cultural values. Tea obtained its consolidated form around the 15th centuries, thanks in great part to three major figures, all of them with a strong Zen Buddhism background. Chado represents, in the best way possible, the specific relation between the Japanese and nature. The mind should not invent concepts and create meaning in an attempt to define Chado. Chado is pure experience. So let's see what happens during a practice class. Before the class starts, the students, helping each other and paying attention to all the details, carefully clean chashitsu, the room for practice. They clean and prepare the utensils, prepare the charcoal and the fire, and ready the tokonoma. Everything should be clean and pure, including the minds of the students. What is there in Chado that attracts non-Japanese? We could safely assume that there is something in the practice of this tradition that transcends the immediate need for novelty and exotic, that defines the innate curiosity of a culture for another. It must be something that transcends this very Japanese space, because it touches the profound spiritual values of the human beings in general. There must be a set of values for these people outside Japan that exalts their desire to practice a tradition so remote from their own. What is there in Chado that attracts non-Japanese? In the space defined by the Japanese aesthetics, philosophy, ethics, art, decorum, and social entertainment, one can find the basic principles defining the spirituality of the way of tea. These principles derive from the closeness of this practice to Zen Buddhism. Wa Kei Sei Jaku, or harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. When everything is prepared, the practice starts. The guest enters chashitsu, admire the calligraphy and the flowers in tokonoma, and then take their places. We all have an urge to be in harmony with nature, to be in harmony with the others. Harmony is a Taoist concept. Respect refines exchanges between the people in the tea room. Tea etiquette, the very specific set of rules that governs the practice of tea, is not just a symbolic fact, is not just a template. It is a way of life and is present in every second of our life. Purity comes from Shinto. Cleaning our hands and rinsing our mouth helps us create symbolically a purity of our body. However, the purity of our mind is a Buddhist concept. The instructor arrives, greetings are exchanged, and the host asks for permission to start the procedure.
先生、タナをじゃあ、納期お願いいたします。
The host brings the utensils, and everyone salutes for the beginning of the temae, the name for the procedure to prepare the tea. The host pauses to gain concentration. She will purify and prepare utensils to make tea. Tea will be made and served to the guests. Tranquility, the last principle governing the art of tea, is the most pregnant one. When this is lacking, the art will lose its significance altogether. When the hands are washed and the mouth is cleansed, the physical body of the tea person may be regarded as purified and fit to enter the room. But this kind of purity does not ensure his or her tranquility. Tranquility is something man adds to his environment from his inner self. The Roji garden and the Chashitsu may be meticulously arranged in every detail with a spirit of elegant simplicity to yield the total effect of tranquility, yet the tea man's spirit may be found wandering somewhere else. With this most important spiritual quality missing, the art of tea cannot be anything but a farce. When a second person enters, oneness splits itself up. The dualism starts, and here we have the world as we know it. The tea room, therefore, demands rules whereby somehow the original peace and balance have to be preserved. Absorbing these rules to the point where they dissolve into a perfect natural harmony and tranquility is what the practice of tea is all about. Restoring the oneness is the fundamental intention of the men of tea. The room became a spiritual training station for the samurai and continues to be a spiritual training station for anyone on the way of tea today. As the main guest enjoys the tea and admires the beauty of the bowl, the host will continue to make tea for the rest of the guests. They will drink in turn and admire the bowl. When enough tea has been made, the host will conclude the tea offering, will clean the utensils, and will replenish for another possible temai. When a man of tea is conscious of this very act of serving tea, the simple fact that he is conscious prevents his movements from being natural and creates a barrier between himself and nature. When we are anchored with our senses in the plane of immediate reality, where this is this and that is that, when there is a what, how, when, and why, we can never leave that plane. We can enjoy pleasure, we can enjoy entertainment, but we make very little spiritual progress. However, in Chado, one might achieve a state of mind where harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility manifests. A state of mind of emptiness, where things just are. So, here we are, practicing to offer a cup of tea. Arigatou gozaimasu.
先生、ご稽古どうもありがとうございました。